All the angels are gone, son. There's only devils left.
Hey, Kevin.
Hi.
Thanks for having me today.
Thanks.
It's been 16 years since we spoke last. It was at the Open Range Junket. So it's
Wow.
taken me that long to get back in front of you and another Western.
Right.
And I was thinking about, being a film critic for almost 25 years now, I'm a huge Western genre fan. I've loved it my whole life. And I can't think of anyone who's championed this genre more than you have in modern times. Dances with Wolves, Wyatt Earp, Yellowstone, Open Range. Where did this support come for this genre in your life?
Well, when they're literate, I fall in love with them because there was great drama in the West. You know, it wasn't about yep and nope. It was a Victorian age, and as the country expanded, tried to settle itself, and the people that were here before wouldn't let it go, rightfully. There was great drama out there, and I'm in love with it. And when it's oversimplified, I'm not in love with it. So I pass on a lot of Westerns. But the ones that I'm planning on making my own, directing one. It's probably like 4 Westerns. It travels 30 years. And I really want to make that, and I really want to make it for people, because I'm in love with the story, because you feel the drama of it. You feel how kind of random life was, those who made it and those who didn't.
You've had so many highs in your career with this genre, and at this point in your career, when you get the script from Taylor Sheridan for Yellowstone for the pilot, you know how incredible fortunate you are to have something that good come across your desk, to catapult you again in this genre. So was there a point reading the script where you were just like, this is just an amazing story?
I thought it was good. I did, and I mean, I don't give my time to things that I don't think are good that way. And the responsibility has expanded. I've accepted it, and so as long as I can try, that's what I'm about.
And goings on at the Dutton Ranch. Season 1 was enough to make me crawl. After the last episode, I can't imagine what's going to happen in season 2. Are you being secretive, or can you just give us, what kind of insight? There's so many loose ends.
Their foot's on the gas. Yeah, there's some loose ends. There's some loose ends.
I wanted to say something about the horses in the show and the wranglers. They must be the unsung heroes of these kind of programs, because the logistics of taking care of the animals for the performers, having them act on cue. I watch and just think, what a challenge that is.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I love doing Westerns, because the amount of people that are around, and you see them at breakfast, at lunch, and dinner, and everybody's working for the same things. It's a great way to make a living.
We're about to find out how big a role you play in this family, son.
You understand what I'm asking?
Right and wrong so far from this place, I don't think it factors in at all.
So tell me what I can expect for season 2, because every character left with such a cliffhanger. I'm like, thank God it's only a few weeks away if I can start season 2. What can you tell me?
It's been a little while. We're rusty.
Yeah. Well, she left me, so
Yeah.
that's a big, part of our storyline.
So she should have.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Deservedly so.
I get people in the street that really, really hate my guts because I left you. Him.
Well, Casey loves you. You can see that.
Yeah.
But he can't have the best of both worlds, And
Yeah.
you finally, when you said, look, I'm leaving, going to stay with Grandpa, I was like, finally.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Thank you so much, Team Monica. No, and I think that's a really important part of her character. Is you do see her empowerment and trying to carve out her own life away from the Dutton influence. But at the same time, I mean, she loves Casey so much and wants him to fight for them.
And you spent the entire first season just refusing anything to do with your father, with Kevin Costner.
Right.
And in the series, the first season, you're going back in the bunkhouse. But
Yeah.
you threw your hat on the bed, so I think season 2 is going to be really bad luck for Casey.
Yeah. He's already had a lot of bad luck. I don't think it gets any better, yeah. So basically he's just dealing with the loss of the love of his life, and now, where does he go? And I think through those circumstances, he has no choice but to go back home and to start to face some of the things that are troubling him, and face these demons that are, kind of pulling him away from everything that's good for him, and also thinking about the future for his son and the ranch.
And I thought, I just really applaud the Paramount Network for putting this show on, because I keep thinking this is an HBO show. with the violence, with the language, with the subject matter, with the honesty in the writing from Taylor Sheridan. I just applaud this network putting on something so incredible.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, we're all of us are huge fans of the show and Taylor, and we were so excited to be a part of it. And exactly, it's so fresh and so different, and like nothing I'd ever read before.
Well, I think for season 2, we make sure you discipline Tate. He needs a couple spankings. He
does.
drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you punish this kid?
I know. Yeah, we're a little too easy on him.
Yeah, especially me.
Yeah.
I think letting him kill snakes and hang out by himself isn't a good thing, you know. I got to tighten up the reins a little bit.
Hey,
Hello.
How are you?
I had to binge watch the first season. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I kind of got away from it. But I think that's the best way to watch the show because there's so many cliffhangers going on. You know, I can't wait. I'm spoiled now. So, and Cole, I'm telling you, I love your character of Rip. He has such loyalty, but he also does the bidding for the ranch. The evil stuff. But you're just so likable for some reason. You're just one of the just an iconic American cowboy. There's something about your character that you just want to trust him.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
You're the fixer.
Yeah, I mean, he's many things, and I think the most important thing when you're playing somebody like Rip at times is not to play him evil, is just to play him like a normal person, because I don't think he looks at himself as a bad guy or a fixer, or, he looks at himself as kind of many different things for John and for the ranch and for the family and for Beth. And so I think what was important to me and Taylor when we spoke about him was not to make him this evil, mean, spirited guy, is actually just to make him very normal. Like this is just part of my day-to-day work.
And while watching this show, all of the female parts are such strong characters, such strong. And we have the governor of Montana. We have a senator. And, so when you were reading this script for the first time, did you have those, what I call like put-down moments, just like, because Taylor Sheridan's, his dialogue, just like,
Oh, for sure. I mean, I remember when every episode would come in my inbox, and it would be like whatever I was doing, I'd pull over in my car and I would sit there and, I would just, it was exciting to get a Taylor Sheridan script. I mean, it's so rich. It's so abundant.
And your character is one of the most juiciest roles, not just for a woman, but
That's
just
right.
in general.
That's right. If she was written as a man, it would be as juicy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, you taking baths in horse troughs and just, and beating up Wes Bentley. And I mean, I'm just like, every time you come on screen, I just kind of clutch my pillow. I'm like, what is she going to do next?
That's an absolutely great sort of quality in her, is that you don't know. So it's, it's very entertaining.
And I always wondered, did you have to go to like a boot camp to ride horses? Were you required to do that?
I'm not required, but, I'm one of the kind of actors that requires it on my own, you know what I mean? So I went out there a month before and rode with Taylor, rode with Ross Coleman, Jake Ream. I mean, basically anybody and everybody. I started roping, I did a little bit of cutting, also did reining as well, which Taylor is like, it's his passion. If he wasn't, a director, writer, he would be, a reiner. So, I just continued to, jump on different animals, different saddles, and over time kind of found my seat.
And your character is so destructive when it comes to men. She is just, being an alcoholic and being daddy's affection and problems with her mother. I mean, it's just, you need so much therapy. I feel sorry for you.
I feel sorry for the therapist, actually.
But in season 2, can you give us any insight where your characters are going? Because you had that line towards the end of the season 1 where you're like, I don't care who you, I just care about you.
I love that line.
Yeah, I do too. There's so many great lines in the series, So what can we expect for season 2 that you can
More of us.
Well, there's definitely more of us. Beth is on the wagon for the most part. She's resigned herself that she's going to be Daddy's foot soldier and get things done and help him. So she kind of, as he said to her in season 1, you got to man up.
Neil.
That's how he gets his answers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's talking. Someone tells him his answers into his.
The guy from Vegas?
Sell.
That's why they're all wrong.
No, buy.
All right, guys. Yellowstone. I have to admit, I binge watched it, and I am just so sympathetic. You're the only sane one, really, in this entire series.
What?
You're season 2.
Was
You're
it
not.
Yellowstone?
We're not
You're
talking
the
you.
first person to ever call me sane.
Yeah, you are the sensible.
That's
My
right.
whole life.
You are the sensible one in this show.
With the voice of
So
reason.
far, that's true.
Yeah, truly.
So far, he's sensible. But, life is life, and it takes you down some paths, and Jamie's susceptible to certain paths. And
You do evil for everyone else, but you're not evil. And you're trying to be evil, and it just doesn't work.
It's right. Yeah, he has a hard time with it. I think, but I think he thinks he needs to do it, or otherwise he won't have the say in the family that he wants. And for Jamie, as a vulnerable person like he is, that's gonna be a problem, and it takes him to some weird areas.
And leaving us with season 1, you two in cahoots. I mean, just like
Maybe.
and it's so funny. You're just like a rich, capitalistic. I mean, you just have such incredible ambitions, and I don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy in this show, because it's like you want to do good, but you use evil to do good. Everyone does.
Yeah, that's really a hallmark, signature for Taylor. This is my third project with him, and he loves the moral ambiguity in his characters. He wants to present the questions. You answer the questions for yourself. But human beings operate in their own self-interest, and if we're honest with ourselves, we all do that. So how do you maneuver through life? Trying to be the person you imagine you want to be, or do the good things that you want to do, and resolve all those issues.
Now, there was enough trouble and cliffhangers in season 1. Neil, what are you going to do for season 2? What kind of trouble are you making? Because in the sizzle reel, there's not much of you, but there's enough to go, whoa.
Yeah, Taylor, he devised a really wonderful character with Malcolm Beck, and it was a lot of fun. Look, I got to work opposite Kevin, these guys, the words of Taylor Sheridan, and I got to wear a cowboy hat. All of that is just awesome. But the drama, the level of drama that they put together is really just truly amazing. And to play Malcolm Beck was, I'll look back on this and realize that this is one of the highlights of my career and my life, and got to meet some great new friends and really have some fun on set.
And not only are you just abused, as Jamie just kicked around, but literally all those fight scenes, with Kelly. I mean, were there any loose punches? Because it looked pretty serious.
Kelly had. I don't think she had ever done a fight scene before our first fight scene in season 1 in the barn, and she was very nervous, and she wanted to work a lot on it, and because of that, no wild punches, and she was very good at it, and so she sold it better than I did. So no, luckily, but we got a long time to go, so there's a lot of potential there.
And being from Las Vegas, we have the Paiute tribe. We have people, best friends of mine are Navajo, and I have Hopi, and the show reflects such an honesty, because I asked to visit when they go back to New Mexico or Arizona, and they're like, no, they don't want outsiders, and nothing personal. They call it the res, and they say this show is so honest about life on the reservation, and they've never seen that before.
Yeah, well, it's that way of life has been hard, and it's and Native Americans, everybody thinks that they can recover, should be able to recover, but it was such a giant unfairness that occurred, and it's like you don't get over it.
Yeah, that that really kind of sends back to Taylor, because in his younger years, Taylor spent quite a number of years with the Lakota people and several of the tribes up there. So he has a sensitivity about that. But he's also created what I think is one of the first contemporary Native characters that are empowered as a resourceful individual, and not playing the victim as the Native people have always been portrayed. So that's probably the most exciting part about it for me.
Yeah, I think that was so important with Taylor, and I mean, he's from Texas, but just that level of authenticity within the world and the politics that happen. And I think that, that's what I love, how he wrote Monica, with this sense of freedom and intelligence and sensitivity, and I think that all of the Native characters are written with such complexity he's done a great job.
And finally, I applaud the Paramount Network too. Putting something this bold on, it's just so the courage is amazing.
Yeah, listen, when you want to stand out, you have to stand for something, and you have to take a chance. If you're going to take a chance, take it on something that's literate, that where you can see yourself.
Total thrill. Thanks so much, Kevin.
Thanks. It's gone to another DEF CON level, if you will. The gloves are really off. So where do we go from there?